Hi, this is Mark Perkins. I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk with you about this MDSAP checklist that I've created for my own auditing purposes, and I'm offering it up for others for use as well. It's rather extensive. There's a lot there. There's a lot of the information. All the information is pulled down from MDSAP in these different rows, including clause and regulations, the processes, their tasks, their subtasks. So that's all contained here. I'm just going to scroll through quickly to show you that. You can see different countries in here. There's a lot of information that's going to require you to decide where you want to, how far you want to expand rows or columns. You're going to have to do that for yourself to determine the amount of space you want to use up. And we get to the end, there's some notes. And one of the most important notes to recognize is that it is password protected. However, I provide that password so that you can go back and make updates or changes to this, revise it as you need to for your own purposes. I put that password in there particularly because there's formulas and I want to help people not overwrite a formula by accident. So right now, for example, if I try to put something as an initial grade here, it tells me that it's password protected, so I can't do that. Let me make this a little bit larger so we can get a little better look at it. And coming back over here once again, if I start from the beginning with management, you'll just see that I have the different chapters and task and subtask along the way, the clause regulations and so forth, and the document references of what you're looking at, your finding. I don't tend to uh, put a separate column for conformity when it's clear enough from the finding. I'll make that clear within the finding itself. However, you can do that. You can add a column for conformity if you wish. If you want to incorporate any OFIs, opportunities for improvement, you've got a spot for that, or take that out if you're not going to use it. But really, what's most relevant to us when we audit, and we're getting into the specifics, is, well, what was the nonconformity? What was the relevant clause? We want to make sure that we're very clear on what was the particular portion of that clause that we're pointing to. And then in MDSAP grading, we have to come back and answer some questions. This is all through the study group 3 guidance document that MDSAP points to for grading. So if you're not familiar with that, I'll try to go through that rather quickly here. But if it's in early clauses up until clause 6.3, that's going to be a grade of 1. And then if it was repeat nonconformity from either of the last two audits, that's going to be another grade of 1. If it was a later clause, it's a grade of 3. So 3, and I do see, let's say I do see that it was happened before, it would have a 4 in that initial grade. And then I have a lack of documented procedures question and was there a resulting nonconformity in the field question to get a final grade. So it's laid out to address the grading, and you have separate columns over here that help calculate the grade and also help point to any errors you might be making. I can't anticipate and address every potential error or inconsistency on inputs in here, but I've addressed several of those. So if I try to put a number in here, that's not going to work, right? It's going to say error, only enter Y or N in this column. So let's say that there is a no, it's not in the later clauses, it's in one of the earlier clauses. Then it's going to come back and tell me, well, you got to enter in for more information. That's not enough. So no, we didn't find an earlier audit. That gave me an initial grade of 1. Uh, was there a lack of documented process or procedure? Well, no, there wasn't. And Was there an NC in the field? So no, there wasn't, not a non-conformity in the field. So I end up with a final grade of 1 in that scenario. Let's look at the other scenario. Let's go the other direction. Let's say it was one of the higher clauses, and yes, it was a repeat. Now my initial grade becomes a 4. I also have a lack of documented procedures, and that's a yes. And by putting yes in there, I'm up to a 5. And you can see that in the sum over here. And then finally, it resulted in a nonconformity of the field, and the sum goes to 6 here, but the final grade is 5. And that's also per the guidance document. You don't grade over 5, even though you can reach a number of 6 with all these situations here. So that's just it in an overview. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you very much.